If you've been around Roblox in the past couple of months, you probably know this game, Locked. If you don't know what Locked is, it's basically a football game based off the famous anime Blue Lock. You basically have like different abilities called a weapon and traits, and then you have your ego type, which you can also activate. This is what it looks like when you have your ego activated. Then you have like different traits that applies to your ego too. And yeah, that's basically the whole game. Of course, you can play like against other people. And yeah, that's basically it. And I asked you if you want me to make something like this. And this is exactly what we are going to make in this video. So for this video, we are going to just make like the ball work. And then if you guys like the series, just let me know in the comments. And then we will like get to the cool stuff, like with the abilities, like everything like this. But for this episode, we are just going to make the football. So what we can do is we can just hop into the toolbox, search for like a football maybe. Let's see what we got. I think, let me just get this. Yeah, it's a mesh part. We can use this. Just make sure your football is just a single part, and then we are good to go. We can rename this part to maybe football. I think this would be good. Let's also make a rig. Let's build a rig. An R6 next to the ball so we know if it's scaled properly. This looks good to me. So then we can start off with the actual football. So we of course need a way to make the football move. So we can add a attachment into the ball, which should be like directly in the center, like this. So with the position being 0, 0, and 0. And in there we can add a linear velocity. We should change this to like -1 on the and I asked you guys if you want me to make something like this, and that's exactly what we are going to make in this video. So in this video we are just going to make the ball work, not like this advanced yet, just like a basic ball movement, ball dribbling and like shooting. We can get to the advanced stuff if you like the series, so let me know in the comments and I will like make new parts on it. But yeah, basically let's just get a ball first. So I made a dummy here. I just placed a dummy here so we know how big we should scale the football. You can of course make your own football if you just go to home and then like make a part, and you can scroll down here and make this to a ball. But I just going to do something from the toolbox. So I just searched for football and I'm just going to take the first one here. It's a model. Oh, I just need the mesh part. So I'm just going to drag it out, and I think it's scaled well. So we can rename this to football. And yeah, basically that's going to be it. Just make sure it's not anchored because we want it to roll around. So the next thing is we need a way of making the football move. We can use linear velocity, but for this to work we need to firstly add in a attachment into the ball. It should be like position 0, 0, 0, so it's directly in the middle. And then in here we can add a linear velocity. So we want the ball to be like on the ground, like if we don't touch it. So we are going to change the vector velocity on the y-axis to -1, so it gets dragged down. If you know, like, look at it. Okay, we can't see that. Oh yeah, because we need to set the attachment to the attachment. Now you see the blue arrow points downwards, and this tells us the ball is getting dragged down. So we can change the max force to like 99,999, or like even like 999,999, just like to the, yeah, just like this, almost a million. Yeah, we can change the appearance to visible. And yeah, that's basically it. So then we need to add a script inside the ball. So I'm just going to name this ball handler, because in here we are going to put all the things that we need to do with the ball. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we have to define a few services. So first of all, the local players, because of course we are going to need the players. It's going to be equal to game colon get service players. So we can just copy this and paste it and then put the run service here. Yeah, then we need the ball. So local ball is equal to script.parent, because the script is inside the football. So then we need the attachment, so local attachment is equal to ball colon wait for child attachment. And then we need the ball linear velocity, so local ball linear velocity is going to be equal to attachment colon wait for child and then linear velocity. So then we need some way of telling which player is touching the ball or which player touched the ball like the latest. Because if somebody shoots, like makes a goal, you need to know which player shot the goal. So we're just going to add a string value inside the ball too, and we are going to name this last touch. So we always know which player touched the ball like last. We are going to define this. Also, let me make it like this. So local last touch is going to be equal to ball ball wait for child and then last touch. So then we need some like events, like actually two, because this is a server script and we can't do things for one player here because we only can do like all the players here. So we need a way of telling the server that one player wants to do something. So we need some remote events in this case. So we're going to replicate storage. We're going to create a folder. And this folder we're going to rename to remotes. I like to make a folder and name it remotes, because it's just like organized then. And we are going to add two remote events in here. We are going to call them dribble ball. So dribble ball. And the other one we're going to call shoot ball. Yeah, these are the only two we need. So then we can define them. So local dribble event is going to be equal to game.replicate storage, wait for child remotes, and then wait for child dribble ball. Then we can copy this line, go down the line, paste it, and then shoot ball, and then we can rename this to shoot event, just like this. So then we also need to make a client script. So for this, we can just go in startup player, so startup player, and startup player scripts, and then here we can make a local script. We can rename this to ball client. You can rename this to whatever you want, but yeah, that's basically it. So then what we can do is we can of course get the players, so local players is equal to game colon get service players, and then because we are on the client we can get the single player, so local player is going to be equal to players dot local player. So then we can get the mouse, because we of course need to know where the mouse is. So local mouse is equal to player colon get mouse. And then we need both of the events, so we can just copy these two lines and paste them. So then local holding is equal to false, and local hold start time is also going to be equal to 0. So we can use like two animations Because of course we can make this like better, because I'm sure you saw like in my clips from the game that when you like shoot the ball, you get into like a shooting animation. So we can kind of mimic this. If we just go to avatar, then click on our rig, then animation editor, we can create a new animation track. We can name this like idle, doesn't really matter. And then we can like configure how the animation should look. So I just created like 2 animations. I can quickly show them to you. So we have the shoot idle, which is pretty much just this. That's everything. I'm not good at like making animations, but I think this is solid. And then we have the actual shoot animation, which is basically just this. Yeah, so I'm going to use those 2 animations in my script. So I got the 2 animation IDs right here. So let me just copy them over. So these 2. So the idle animation and the shoot animation. You can just put in your own animations here, or you can just like just leave them out if you don't want like animations. But yeah, then we need the local idle animation track and the local shoot animation track. Also, sorry if you hear like squeaking in the background. It's my chair. It's like very old, and it like, yeah, just ignore it. So local function stop animation, because of course we need to stop the animation somehow. And then the animation track. And I'm sure you've guessed it, but we also need a play animation. But yeah, that's basically it. But here we actually need the animation ID and not the animation track. So yeah, and in here we can stop both animations. So we can do stop animation with the idle animation track, and we can do stop animation with the shoot animation track. So then for stop animation, we do if animation track, then animation track called stop. That's basically it. So then down here, the local animation is equal to instance.new, and then we do animation. And then animation.animation ID is going to be equal to animation ID. And then local humanoid, because we only can play animations in humanoid. Play out character from wait for child, or we can actually use find first child of class and then humanoid. If humanoid, then we can do local animation track. It's going to be equal to humanoids load animation and then animation. And then we can do animation track called play, and then we can return the animation track. That's pretty much it. So then what we can do next is, what does it say here? Oh, it's because it's not defined, but well, it's defined. So then we need like some of the events, because actually I can show you something. So in my shoot animation, I renamed the keyframe where I like should shoot the ball. So if we play it like backwards, you see this is the point where the leg is like there. So I just you can right click and then rename the keyframe. rename keyframe. And I renamed it to shoot, just shoot. So I pressed here, and then I renamed it to shoot. You probably can't see this, but you just press right click, and then there should be like rename keyframe. You just click on it, and then this pops up. But yeah, I just renamed it to shoot, and now we can use this to like know when we should like kick the ball. So this because I'm going to add a function. So local function. I'm going to name it on keyframe reached, and I'm going to put the keyframe name. And then if keyframe name is going to be equal to shoot or whatever you just called it, and shoot animation track, then local hold duration is going to be tick, tick. Don't forget the brackets, and then minus hold start time. So what this does is basically the hold duration, because we actually don't want the player to like hold the ball infinitely, because how it's in the game, it's basically the longer you hold right click to shoot the ball, the harder you will shoot it. But we want to like get how long you hold, like how long you held the ball, so we can pass this through. So then we are going to get the shoot event and fire the server. The player is automatically fired, so we don't need to pass it in. And then we're going to put the hold duration in here, the whole function. So then we can get to the mouse functions. That's because we got the mouse here. So we can do mouse dot button 2 down, connect function. So button 2, if somebody of you doesn't know, is right click, and button 1 is left click. So then we could, yeah, this is what got me recommended, is basically the perfect thing. Roblox I sometimes cooked, like sometimes it's cooking, but well, now it's gone. Let me just try it again. So mouse dot button 2 down, connect function. Let's wait. And that's basically the thing we need. So if your Roblox AI recommends you this, just keep it. Oh, I just realized I have a typo here. Okay, now it's okay. Now it's okay. So idle animation track, and then idle animation again, just like this. So then we can say, also let me delete this line here. We can say mouse dot button 2 up, connect function, and then we can do if holding, then holding is equal to false, and then we can do stop animation, and then the idle animation track, and then we can do shoot animation track is equal to play animation, shoot animation ID, and then if shoot animation track, then shoot animation track dot keyframe reached connect on keyframe reached. So what this does is, if we are holding right click, so because when we hold, like when we press right click, it's going to set holding to true and start the hold time. And when we release button 2, it should, like, if it's holding, then we set holding to false because we just released the button. And then it's going to stop the idle animation, so the shooting idle animation, and play the shoot animation. And then if the shoot animation track is there, so if it's like getting played, Then for every keyframe that's reached, we're going to connect the onKeyframe reach function. And this is going to check if there is a keyframe named shoot, and if yes, it's going to fire the server with the hold duration. That's basically everything that it does. Then we need to do basically the same thing for mouse the button 1, but it's way less complicated. So we just connect the function. I just messed up. And we just do dribble event fire server. That's basically that's everything. So then this is everything for the client. Close it up, and we can get to the server again. So basically what this will do here is, yeah, we just need a few functions. So local is shot going to be equal to false, and then local gravity applied is going to be equal to false too, and then local function, we just need a few functions. Reset ball velocity. I'm not that good with like velocities and stuff, so if the series is going to continue, we will probably like redo this whole velocity thing in the future. Yeah. That's basically the first function. Local function release ball. What you basically need to do here is the player. And then if last touch dot value is equal to player dot name, then last touch dot value is equal to nothing, and then ball set network owner to nil, and then reset ball velocity. So then players dot player removing connect function layer, and then release ball layer. So and then local function apply gravity. Gravity applied is equal to true. So then we actually going to apply gravity. So run service dot heartbeat connect function. Just this. Yeah, it's basically like the delta time. I just put like dt here. It's basically just a number. It's kind of hard to explain. But basically, it's the time since the last heartbeat. So yeah. If ball, then local velocity going to be equal to. I'm so sorry for this video like going like 30 minutes or something. I'm trying to make fast now. Yeah. So if magnitude is greater than 0.1, then velocity is equal to velocity times. And then we need actually something. We need to define something. So we can just do it up here and put like customization here. So in here we can do like local dribble radius. It's equal to 15 maybe. Local speed multiplier. I'm just going to set it to 1. We can always like higher it. And then local min dribble velocity is equal to 5. Yeah, then we would have like some values for shooting here, but shooting we are not going to do in this episode. We can do like local, let's yeah, we are going to do shooting in the next episode. So let me know if you want me to make a next episode. But yeah, then we need the local gravity force. It's going to be -50. So you want a -50 drag. Then the local friction. Friction is basically like that the ball slows down. I'm just going to put this to 0.99. And then we can multiply it by the fraction. That's basically everything. So then, if gravity applied, then local gravity is going to be equal to vector 3 dot new, and then 0 comma gravity force times delta time comma 0, and then velocity is equal to velocity plus gravity. I know like velocities are very like confusing if you don't like know what you're doing. But yeah. Then we set the vector velocity of the ball velocity, which is basically like just the velocity here. So the vector velocity, just set it to the velocity of the ball. And then if ball linear velocity dot vector velocity dot magnitude is smaller than 0.1, then ball linear velocity dot vector velocity is going to be equal to vector 3 dot new 0, 0, 0. So we just set it to 0, and gravity applied is equal to false. So then for the dribble events, so dribble events dot onServer events connect function layer. So then we need a character, so log character, the player dot character or player character dot character edit wait. Then local HRP is going to be character wait for child humanoid root part. Local ball position equal to ball dot position. Local character position equal to human group parts, so HRP dot position. Then distance to ball, we also should be able to get this easily. A bit of math. So this should be ball position, I think, minus the character position. Dot magnitude, I think. Yeah, I think it should be like this. Here we will see. So if distance to ball is less than the dribble radius, then last touch dot value would be equal to player dot name local look vector unit HRP dot cframe dot look vector local direction equal to look vector dot unit local new velocity is going to be equal to direction times HRP dot velocity dot magnitude times speed multiplier. So basically, also let's do the speed multiplier to 1.2. So what this does is it's getting the look vector, so where our character looks at, and then it's going to get the direction, and then the new velocity is going to be the direction times the speed of our character, and times the speed multiplier. So the ball is going to move at the 1.2x speed of our character when we dribble the ball. So if we stand still and then kick the ball, it's not going to move. But if we walk, it's going to shoot the ball, and if we run, it's going to shoot the ball faster. So now we just have to set the vector velocity in the max force, and then that's pretty much going to be it. So ball linear velocity dot vector velocity is equal to vector3 dot new, and the new velocity dot x, and then ball linear velocity dot vector velocity dot y, and then the new velocity dot z. Then the ball linear velocity dot max force is going to be equal to 100,000. Then we're going to set the network owner of the ball. Set network owner to the player. What network owner, like setting network owner does, it's basically like binding the ball to the network of the player. So the player that controls the ball is like the player that sees the ball like movements the first. There's going to be a slight delay for other players. You probably like seen it in like games where you just like PvP against other players. Maybe sometimes you got shot before you saw the other player, and that's exactly what this is. You can leave this out if you want it to be fair play, but yeah, I'm just going to leave it in. So that's going to be the dribble event, and we can actually test this out. So let me open my console, and we can kick the ball. As you see, it's going to move. We can just like kick the ball around. That's basically it. If we make our character faster, or if we just like don't move, it's not going to kick the ball, as you see. But if we make our character faster, so let's just go into home, game settings, and of course we just need to save our game to Roblox. You are probably not going to see this, but just like put in your like name and everything. Like not your name, but like the name of the game, so how you want to name it and stuff. Then you want to head to game settings again, go to security and allow HTTP requests. And then you want to go to avatar, put this to R6, the animation to standard, and then you can go to world and set the walk speed. I'm just going to set it to like 30 and just confirm. That's it. Now as you see, we are going a lot faster. Also, if you press right click, it's holding the animation. If we let it go, it plays the shooting animation. That's basically how it is. Now we are a bit faster, and the ball is also going to move faster. If you wanted to like move as fast as the player moves, also this is like not slowing down as fast as I want to. So I'm just going to set friction to 0.98 and this to like 0.1. So let's see. Yeah, this is better, I think. Yeah, this is better. I like this more. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Also, we are going to fix that the ball like doesn't spin and stuff. Because right now, as you can see, when we click on the ball and on the velocity, it's just spinning, even though it's like, yeah. So we should set the velocity here, here to -1, just to make this like smoother. Because yeah, now as you can see, it doesn't rotate as much. Okay, well, it does rotate more. See, now it's fixed. When we shoot the ball, nothing happens yet. Well, yeah, we're going to get to this in the next episode. Thank you for watching. If you want, you can join my Discord server down below. I'm going to leave it in the comments as a pinned comment, also in my description. Yeah, if you like don't understand anything, You can always drop me a DM on Discord or just write something in the comments and I'm going to reply. Thank you for watching this and tell me if I should make another part.